sort of like mantra my therapist and I came up with is, and it sort of sounds crazy, but it works for me, is I say, I look forward to being misunderstood. And by that, I mean, it's just something so that I can sort of go, this is going to happen. The internet, when you're posting something on the internet, and of course, when you're putting it into a book, when you're putting any sort of yourself out there creatively, like, what was that old, like, Pinterest quote? It's like, you can't please everyone. You're not Nutella. Like, that basically is the gist.
Beautiful messes? Oh, we love beautiful messes.
Greetings from Confetti Land, home of the Confetti Bar. I'm Jessica, founder and confetti artist.
And I'm Alexis, head of happiness. Join us here in this magical, colorful place where we
have fun,
feel feelings,
and encourage you to embrace your unique version of happiness and all of its beautiful, messy pieces.
We are so excited to have you join us.
Hi friends, welcome back to Greetings from Confetti Land. Today we're joined by someone who fully understands the art of embracing chaos in the most beautiful way, Lyndsay Rush. She's a writer, creative director, and the author of the book A Bit Much, which is this brilliant, funny, heartfelt collection of poems about feeling deeply, laughing at yourself, and finding meaning in all the weird, wonderful chaos of being human. She has this amazing ability to make you laugh about the exact thing that once made you cry. She reminds us that being too much isn't something to fix. It's actually something to celebrate. So grab your big feelings and maybe a snack as we're going to talk about embracing our mess, emotional, creative, and otherwise, plus finding beauty and maybe a little humor right in the middle of it. Thank you so much for joining us, Lyndsay.
Thank you for having me. That was such a beautiful intro. I'm so touched. Thank you.
Well, we hope you feel very welcomed here in Confetti Land.
I do. I feel like I'm among my people. I can sense it.
Definitely. We're so happy to have you here in Confetti Land. And as a first-time visitor, we do have a couple of kind of warm-up questions that we like to ask anybody who visits Confetti Land. And the first one is, what does confetti mean to you?
Oh, my goodness. I think confetti to me means permission, like permission to celebrate, to feel, to let it all out, to be big. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. That's a great answer. There are no wrong answers, but that's a really good one. What would currently make up the confetti mix of your life?
The confetti mix of my life right now would be Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm back on my, I grew up calling it pop. I'm from Minnesota, so I'm back on pop. I was off pop for a really long time, but it feels like the world is burning. And I'm like, I need a vice. I'm back on board. Diet Dr. Pepper, cars and trucks, because my toddler is obsessed. Like, I feel like I find cars and trucks everywhere. That's definitely a part of my confetti. Oh man, trying to think. Well, and for always, nail art is a big part of my confetti. Jokes, lip gloss, lip stick, lip stain, lippies. I call them lippies. My two favorite things to pick up if I'm in a bad mood are lippies and chippies. So I'm getting a chip that I've never tried before. Yes. And I'm getting a lip stain. So like, you remember back in like 2012 when like blogs were called like Champagne and Chanel and like Cupcakes and Cashmere's, mine would have been lippies and chippies. Yes. And it would have been a hit. Yes. So yeah, those are some of the things that I think would be in my confetti.
That's so good. The other day, speaking of lippies, I was at this like little baby shower. We were doing bingo and you needed a pen for it. And I had a pen, but somebody else needed a pen. And so I used lip gloss, and it was the happiest thing to mark my card with glittery lip gloss. And I feel like you would be so proud. So I just needed to tell you that.
Is like, This is what is wrong and right with my brain is that I'm like, oh, that's a poem. I look around ever since I started doing this and everything is a poem to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, lip gloss on a bingo board at a baby shower. Like I have to end this recording and go write a poem. Like, it's good.
Please, please. I'll be so excited to read it.
We'll be looking forward to that one.
Yes.
That's so good.
Well, we definitely are going to want to get into more of the writing in the book and things like that a little bit later. But first things first, like just in your own words, tell us a little bit about Lyndsay. And like, again, we'll get into the book and stuff, but we want to hear about Lyndsay the human before we get into Lyndsay the writer.
Yeah. Oh, where to begin? So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I've always been a very silly person. And I was thinking about this morning when I was driving to get coffee, that truly humor has always been my go-to approach, coping mechanism, all of it. And I think it's because my mom is a very playful, charismatic, funny person. And so play was just always such a big part in our household, play and music. So I feel like I've always approached life with a lot, full stop, a lot of things. And it took me a long time to see that as not just like neutral or okay, but a strong suit and something to be excited about and proud of. And so I feel like that's been a lifelong journey of mine I'm an Enneagram 4. I don't know if you guys are Enneagram people. And I remember taking the quiz for the first time, and there's a question that says, and one of the responses are like, I want attention, but it makes me uncomfortable. And I was like, oh, that's me. And, Enneagram 4s are famously concerned and worried about being misunderstood, but then also desire to be unique. And so like, if it was like, what is Lyndsay always dealing with? It's like, look at me, I'm special and I'm not like other people, but then also make sure you don't misunderstand that. So like that tension is, sort of been a part of my life forever.
Mm-hmm. And that's interesting because I feel like you obviously put a lot of yourself out there in the form of your writing and things like that. So has that been like hard for you to do, maybe more in the beginning than it is now, or is it still hard?
Yeah, I sort of like mantra my therapist and I came up with is, and it sort of sounds crazy, but it works for me, is I say, I look forward to being misunderstood. And by that, I mean, it's just something so that I can sort of go, this is going to happen. The internet, when you're posting something on the internet, and of course, when you're putting it into a book, when you're putting any sort of yourself out there creatively, what was that old, like, Pinterest quote? It's like, you can't please everyone. You're not Nutella. Like that basically is the gist. And so when I go like, I'm going to put this out there and I could be as clear as possible, the punchline could be as like laser sharp as possible. And there will still be people who interpret it differently or not in the way I intended. And that is part of the business that comes with the territory. And so like, I have that thing of like, before I post something, I'm like, I look forward to being misunderstood because art is subjective and it's up for interpretation, and it's not, once it's out there, it's not really my business. So that sort of helped me, but it's hard. The internet is like what made my entire, like Instagram specifically is what made my entire unexpected author and publishing journey, but it is also a beast of its own, and trying to gauge your success or your merit by likes, and when an algorithm keeps changing, can be a really like tricky and scary place to be.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna take a little path here because this is I think a good conversation, and then I'll bring it back to the beginnings. But I do think what's very interesting, and I struggle with this a lot, is like that balance of, you want to put yourself and your thoughts out there as an artist, a creative, like you obviously want to share it with the world, like that's part of it. But then there also is this sense of like, well, I want to keep stuff for myself. And it like does feel like in this day and age, you kind of have to give all of yourself and you have to put it out there and like be constantly creating content, and it's not about even just the work you're making. It's about how do you talk about the work you're making and like put it out there constantly. So I'm curious your take on that. Like, do you feel that pressure of constantly doing it, or have you kind of come to a place where it's part of like your creative practice and you see it as something that is more enjoyable than not? And like, how do you find that?
Yeah.
That line.
I think it's like probably something I'm going to be dealing with as long as I'm doing this. I think it's hard. And I think it changes based off of seasons of my life, or like what I feel like I'm needing, or if I'm working on a book. Like when I was making this book, for example, publishing is a really long process. So if I sold the book, signed the book deal in January of 2023 and the book 2022, and the book didn't come out till 2024. So you're working on, I have to keep pieces that only for the book, write pieces to grow the Instagram because that's how the book's going to sell. And then you have stuff that you're like, was that just for me? Is that therapeutic? Is that for like a loved one, or is that special or sacred? Like what's sacred and what's not? And I'm somebody who early on when I made the Instagram, it was basically so that I could have a playground. I made a dedicated non-personal Instagram that the Mary Oliver's Drunk Cousin account was so that I could sort of throw spaghetti at the wall and experiment and do that in a playful way where it wasn't like my aunt was looking on or like old high school friends. I could just be like, whoever comes here has come here because they've liked the work or they've been curious or the algorithm has fed it to them. And then a little bit of reverb in the beginning was good because I could see, oh, people are gravitating toward this topic. Or like when the poem She's a Bit Much had a viral moment, it sort of like helped me find a focus for this collection, which I did not know at the time I was going to be writing a book. But when that all came, I was like, well, there's this huge audience of women who all feel the same way. Anyway, so like, I think that reverb is really important. But again, like you're saying, it's a balance because, I think intention is important. And these days, in the last like month, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. I feel like the Instagram algorithm has just changed or been weird. Like it's not showing content to your followers as much. And so you sort of have to go like, if I believe in this piece and I think that it is what I want to share, an important part of like developing my writing process and my catalog, I'm going to do it even if it's, a fraction of what it would have been a year ago. So it's just it's a strange world.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so Alexis does our social media for the Confetti Bar because I was very much at a point in my life a few years ago where I was like, I can't be in it every day. I need to focus on the creative side of it. But poor Alexis, she has to deal with that. She's like, why aren't people seeing this? And I'm like, I don't know. It's brilliant.
I know.
And we're like, you know what? At least we're having fun.
And that's why like, I'm always like, I have to buy what I'm selling. Meaning like, I have to be first in line and I have to believe in my work and my voice. Because at the very least, or like think that what I'm saying is funny because you have to be like, I still stand by it. That's great. And if more people saw it, I think it's like a bit of delusion. The only way you can grow, I just saw a TikTok today that was like, a guy was like, the key to any sort of success is embarrassment. Like you are going to embarrass yourself. It is, and now we've all come on, we've given the word cringe the a bit much treatment. People are all sort of realizing like cringe just means you're trying and that's okay. And like, whatever, but like, you gotta go, no normal person, just like cool, like Pink Panther slid their way into like massive success without any sort of moment where they were like in an echo chamber. Like it's just part of the deal, I think. But it's hard.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a perfect segue into how I actually came across your work because it actually was not online. So I feel like this is a good moment to get us outside of it. So towards the beginning of the year, I don't even remember exactly what month it was, but towards the beginning of the year, my husband and I had taken a day off and we like to go kind of to this beachy area here in Connecticut. And so we were in this town, Guilford, Connecticut. And it was like during the middle of the day, there was like nobody around. Things weren't even really opening. And we're walking around and there was this little bookstore. Shout out to Breakwater Books in Guilford, Connecticut. And as I'm walking by, I saw a bit much in the window. And I was like, confetti. Like, obviously, I like you think in terms of poems, I think in terms of confetti. And I was like, oh, confetti, what's that? Like, never heard of it. And so I like got up closer and I was like, oh, like poems. Like, I like poems. Okay. So we go in the store, like, and I'm like, I don't like to be an inconvenience to people. And so I was looking around to see if I could find the book like on the shelf. So I was like, let me see more about what it is. Couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm like, And so my husband's like, well, I'll just ask the lady like to go get it from the window. And so it's this poor, sweet little elderly woman. It, like, she had to climb into the window, and she's like, and my husband was like, do you want me to go get it? And she's like, oh no, like it might not be safe. And so she crawls herself into this window to get the book. So I have to say, I probably would have bought it either way, just because like I would have felt so bad that she like crawled into the front window to get it. But I'm glad I did either way, because then I obviously brought it home and read it, and as you can see, tabbed the heck out of it. So I do believe it was meant to find me, but obviously it was the confetti, and it was a sweet old lady who helped me get this book into my life. And so nothing to do with Instagram. I didn't know how popular it was online or anything like that. That came later. So that's my story about how it even came across my path.
It's amazing. And, it almost wasn't confetti. So that's the cover. The cover design was like a whole to-do. We went back and forth a million times on a bunch of different things. And the marketing team at my publisher were just, because I mentioned confetti in the like title poem of the book. Do I say confetti cannons, confetti poppers, whatever. Anyway, I mentioned confetti, and so they just, in their brain, they were like, this represents fun. And like, they're like, this, if you want it to reach like people who didn't know initially that like poems could be funny, or like in the way that you write, like if you want them to get your gist, we're putting confetti in that sardine tin, whether you like it or not. And I was like, and then I got on board. But it's serendipitous. Oh, it just says confetti. I was looking at the thing. I was like, it's just confetti, not confetti popper. Okay.
Well,
that's really
I like to call that
story.
Confetti kismet.
Yes.
That's like the sweetest meet cute book ever. And then she sent me a copy, and I have also reaped the benefits of it.
And
sharing
that little lady, Alexis. May we all be as dexterous, as limber as she is, so we can get books down for people. That's why I lift weights, is because someday I'm going to be an old lady in a bookshop, and they're going to be like, get me that. I'll be like, I got it.
They'll be like, can I see that book?
This is the new reason to work out.
This is what I'm doing it for. That's great.
I love it. Before we get into more of the art of being a bit much, I think what might be a little fun, if you will indulge us in a little lightning round. So I'm going to read you a few things, and you tell me, is it a bit much or not enough?
Cool.
All right, here we go. Oversharing with strangers.
And now listen, hold on. I have a question about the game. Because
yes.
When I'm calling things a bit much, that's a thumbs up for me. I just want listeners to know that's okay. Oversharing with strangers, a bit much.
Ugly crying in public.
Yeah. You know what? A bit much. When I lived in Chicago, there's nothing like crying in a big city. I'll say that. Crying out publicly in a big city, like on a train or on a bridge. I mean, that's like so true to my like drama, but like it's very cathartic. So I'm giving it a bit much.
Glitter.
Now, I guess technically it's a bit much, but in my personal feelings, it's not enough because it gets everywhere. Although you could look at that and think that that's a bit much. I'm going a bit much. You guys, you're going to watch it. It's going to be a bit much all across the board. So just like,
I figured this would kind of be a skewed game, but we're going to do it anyway.
I'm a bit biased.
Okay. Yes. Matching your outfit to your mood.
Oh, a bit much. Love it. Dopamine dressing. Into it.
Tossing confetti at breakfast.
A bit much. I love that.
Wearing sequins to the grocery store.
Oh, yeah. A bit much. You are the celebration. You are the moment. I've rigged this game. I'm sorry, you guys.
Plants. Yes. No. Listen.
You know what?
This is my segue into it.
You're like, babe, I planned this. I'm going to call that not enough because I think you should sing to your plants. Sing to your plants or read them poetry.
Okay, we'll switch it up.
Let's up level.
Support it.
Okay. Throwing a pity party with actual decorations.
Oh, I love that. I have a poem about a pity party. A bit much.
Making up fake awards for yourself.
Oh my gosh. Why haven't I ever done that? A bit much. That's fantastic.
Okay. And last but not least, buying new pens when you already have a drawer full.
Not enough because we're using lip gloss now instead of pens. So
that's the new pen. Lip gloss is the new pen.
Yeah, you heard it here first. It's Alexis
Please let this become a trend.
Oh, that was fun.
So good.
Okay, so if nobody has guessed yet, the idea of being a bit much is really more of an art form. So let's just talk a minute about, and obviously I think you do this a lot in the book, but how can we rewrite the narrative that being too much or feeling too deeply, it's something bad, and how do we rewrite it to be something to celebrate instead?
Yeah. So when I wrote the poem, She's a Bit Much, it initially was just sort of intended as a snarky comeback. I imagined someone saying that to me. And then I imagined all of the things in the world that are a bit much and are universally beloved. Not to like poem-splain the book, but or the poem. But that was one device that helped me, and I have a sort of follow-up that's not in the book that's called Naughty by Nature. And it's like the neon sunset does not apologize for being a bit much. The howler monkey does not think, her cackle is annoying. And so I honestly, and this is very, the OG Mary Oliver, I think nature and the natural world is a really great place to look for permission and inspiration on things that are entirely uniquely themselves, loudly or otherwise, brightly. And so that was one way that I look around and I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at that crazy thing that, or like I saw a picture the other day of all these insects that look exactly like sticks to blend in. And I'm like, that's so cool. So it really helps me to I feel like I fine-tuned the muscle of curiosity and astonishment so that I can start to see that in other things and other people and therefore appreciate that in me. I think another trick is thinking about the people in your life who you love and have, classically loud or large or bright or different aspects to themselves and how much that enhances your life or your experience. And you would go, yeah, they're a bit much, but we need them here. I need them to come to this thing or I need them to show up. And so those are two sort of ways that help me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's totally fair and valid. And I think as you hear you describe it, I think it obviously, I'm going to bring it back to confetti because obviously here our big thing is embracing the beautiful messes, right? And the fact that, and I swear I say this, I feel like on every podcast season, Alexis, so forgive me, but I'm no psychologist, but after making confetti for 11 years now, I've just noticed to me there has to be a correlation between how you react to confetti and how you show up in life because I feel like so many people are like, confetti is a bit much. It's too messy. It's too, I want to clean it up. All these things, but it's but that's what makes it great. That's what makes it amazing and fun and colorful and all of those things that we should aspire to embrace in life instead of shy away from. And I'll be the first to admit,
Totally.
Sometimes also, if my daughter, she's like, I want to throw confetti, mommy. And I'm like, I'm the one who's got to clean it up. And I always have to stop myself. I'm like, no, just let her throw the confetti. Like, and I'll just leave it on my floor for a couple of days. Like, it's fine.
Truly, my son just turned 2. And one of the biggest lessons I've been learning in the chaos, speaking of chaos and mess, of toddlerhood is to be like, the thing I say to myself, it's so stupid. I tell myself, big whoop. It's so stupid and old timey. Like, basically, so what? Like, he is exploring his senses and things. And if, like, I read a thing that was like, if a toddler drops even like a droplet of their cup, their brain tells them, dump the rest. You have to see what happens. So you're like, this is just happening. And he's messy and exploring. And I just have to go, big whoop, like, you'll clean it up. Like, who cares? It's just, I think we're so, I don't know. And when I think about being a bit much, I often think about, well, what's the alternative? Like, versus what? Like, what if I were to like not give into that part of me, then what? And that starts to, like, when I picture that, my life being like that, or my personality or my experiences being like that, it does not appeal to me. And so I'm like, oh, well then here we go. Confetti it is.
Yes.
So big whoop. You guys can steal that. Big whoop.
Yeah, big whoop.
Because it's just like, calm down. I feel like in the stress of parenting, it's really easy to just get worked up over something so stupid. And if I'm like tense in my body, I'm like, this is about like cracker crumbs. Are you serious? Like, big freaking whoop. Like, grow up. Like, calm down and grow up. Talking to myself.
Yes, no, totally been there. My daughter just turned 5, and it's definitely been a lesson in patience and acceptance. And as much as I thought, having this business even prior to her, as much as I thought I embraced the mess, let me tell you, I didn't know what I was in for.
The universe was like, bet, let's see.
Yep.
I'm going to test you on that.
Yes. But it forces you to like think about it. And that's why I love confetti, not only as like a physical representation, but like the metaphorical reminder, like, be messy, but it is beautiful. So like, remember that. So as we speak about, celebration and those kinds of things, how do you feel like joy plays into your writing? I know, I could pick a few poems that I think kind of do touch on this, but I do think a number of them in the book do. So what is your relationship with joy, and how do you feel like that fits in to what you write about?
Yeah. So when the book was about to come out, it was like August of last year, I had this moment where I was thinking through potential like negative reviews of my book, right? Which is not a thing I used to do, but I was in a panic, right? I was like, well, realizing that it would be in the hands of people who didn't have like context for me versus my like safe little Instagram community. I was like, oh my gosh, someone could pick this up off a shelf and like get the totally wrong impression of me. Again, misunderstood, my greatest fear. But one thing I was really worried about is somebody thinking that I was writing about like that it was toxic positivity, which I think is so, so different than joy and hope. And to me, the difference is that toxic positivity is like, that hard thing is not happening, you're fine. And joy and hope are saying that very difficult thing is happening, and yet there is, X, Y, and Z. There's hope, there's joy. There's like a way to move through that with a different answer than just to despair. And so like that helped me like in my brain get ahead of the haters. There weren't any haters, but like, well, and I don't read my reviews. That's like what are my like Goodreads reviews. But if they're out there, listen to this, losers. But so yeah. So anyway, joy plays a huge role for me because it's just sort of like what I said earlier about humor. It feels like an opportunity and a gift from the universe to have some sort of like a balm, a soothe amidst things that are difficult. Like it's like, instead of escapism, it's like endurance. That's how I think of it.
And I love that. And I think part of what did draw me so much once I actually started reading the book, not just the cover, but once I got into it, is, our big thing here in Confetti Land is we like to say like it's playfully profound, right? So like there is this element of fun, and it is very easy for people to like think of confetti and those things and like, oh, it's just all happy all the time. It's all sunshine and rainbows, and like, that's the way it always is there. But our big thing is like that's like just the access point. Like we can all relate to fun, and even if someone is going through something hard, like laughter and stuff, that's like usually very accessible for people and kind of gets you like that little bit of an in. But then I do want to encourage people to think deeper and actually think about your feelings and not just kind of sit in the humor and, similar to toxic positivity, like pretend like nothing else exists. So I'm curious for your perspective, like how do you find that line of like, and you said in the beginning kind of humor and playfulness has always kind of been a part of your life and your personality, but how do you keep walking that line of it being playfully profound and kind of balancing the humor piece with that vulnerability and that deeper meaning?
Yeah, I think one of the guiding principles for me about when and how I'm using humor is, first of all, not to punch down, like, as in, like, if I'm the powerful person in the situation, I'm not going to make light of or be snarky about somebody else's experience. So that's like a rule of comedy that I think decent humans follow. And then also, I've always thought, and we say this in our, like, the branding agency I run with my best friend, because we use humor as like our crux as well. We say that humor is the truth having fun. So I also think that the funniest things are deeply, deeply true. And so I want humor to be the, like you said, the invitation, the like little door in to exploring something that is real and true and to shed light on it. And I also think it like gets people's guard down. So it's going like, this is my experience and I'm going to write about it in a way that makes you smile or think or laugh, which I think will help you see where I'm coming from, even if you don't agree with me. Like, and so, when I approach heavier topics like body image or religion or, anything political, I'm trying to go, I want to, like satire is the art of, like somebody else's POV and shining light on that and blowing that up a little bit. And so I'm just trying to, I don't know, I guess tell my story in a way that helps people understand it and maybe makes them listen and think. And then at the end of the day, whatever you take from it is what you take from it. And like, that's why I love poetry, because you get to sort of say, what if this was this, and then leave. Whereas, essays, you sort of have to like tie it up with a bow. Like you're like, and that's why I left church camp mad or whatever. What an example. Instead, you just get to be like, church camp was scary. And maybe, a church is a haunted house after all, and all this sort of stuff. You just get to like leave it out there and then run away.
You get to throw the confetti in.
Honestly, you bust down the door, pop the confetti popper, and then run away. Precisely.
Yes. If we can talk just a little bit about kind of your creative process, and I would imagine, and we touched a bit on this earlier, having become more popular online and things like that, there might be a little bit more of a pressure. So like, how do you protect that creative spark, especially when life does feel extra messy? And what is your process like?
Yeah. So I think I have the advantage that this is not my only job. It's not like how I'm paying all my bills, just to be transparent. So I think, and it started out as purely a hobby with no intention other than to explore a different way of writing. And so I think that helps it. And I do feel like it would be different if I was like, this has to do X, Y, and Z so that I can eat, but I have another job. So that does take some pressure off. However, my agent and I are about to pitch the second collection to the world or to publishers. And there is this thing in the back of my brain that's like, has it grown enough? Because you're really these days, especially with poetry, you need a social presence. And so it's like, it's always in the back of my brain. I will say that. But I think I'm grateful that I that I get to play and experiment online and that people are very willing participants in it. Like I mentioned earlier, the algorithm is depressing. It does make you think, I started a Substack for that very reason. But it's not as fun because you don't get as much like reverb. You're not like chatting with people as much. You know what I mean? But anyway, to long-windedly answer your question, I don't ever force myself to write a poem. I don't like I'm not like, it is 8 a.m. You better write this thing. I basically keep a stream of consciousness document. And when things spark my curiosity, I'll write them down. And then I usually have like Tuesday and Thursday mornings are lighter for me at work. So I'll like spend an hour looking through my ideas. And if something sparks, I'll write it. And if it doesn't, I won't. And I just think that has helped me not feel resentful of the work. But it is a different thing. Like if the second book sells, and then I am in the position again of creating content for the book that no one will see in 2 years, and also wanting to share stuff and grow the account, that it gets harder. But that's my general plan.
I'm a big fan of the brain dump note document. I have like 5 million notebooks in my notes app. And like, that's what I've learned over the years is like my most brilliant ideas are what I think are brilliant anyway.
Yes,
like they come randomly. And if I don't write it down in that moment, like forget it, it's gone. Like it'll never come back. And I do whenever I'm feeling like, what should I do? What should I create today? Or like what new product or whatever, I'll just go back through and inevitably I'm like, oh, wow. Gosh, Jessica, you are really smart.
Wow, I'm a genius. I've already done half of this. Yeah. Do you ever have the thing though where you're like about to fall asleep and you think you've thought of something really great, and so you write it down because you're like, I don't want to forget this in the morning, and then you look at it in the morning, you're like, oh, babe, that's a stinker. That's nothing. But I write it down. The practice of writing down, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had that. And I've also had I'm just so cozy in bed. I'm like, I'll remember. And I like try to like do something in my mind where I'm like, I'll say it like a million times and I'm like, I'll remember in the morning. And then nope, it's gone. Nope. Gone forever.
I know. And then you wake and you have like a hint of it or like a twinge and you're like, it was something about, and then you're like, it's gone. Your brain didn't want you to have it.
Yep. Okay. So switching gears just a little bit, what small rituals, habits, or moments do you find that you have that regularly help you find joy?
Well, drinking copious amounts of Diet Dr. Pepper is one. Working out, really. I really think like I started weightlifting last year with a trainer friend of mine. And it has been just such a good, like to fully use my body instead of my brain for just even a little bit is like a release. And I'm sure there's all sorts of science about what's going on in my brain when I'm exercising, but that's a good one. And walks and like looking at nature, which is so cheesy. But another weird thing I do or don't do is I don't read, when I'm working on another book, I don't read other poetry. I barely will read essays. I'm so nervous of accidentally stealing somebody's voice or idea that I'm like, and so people are often like, who's your favorite poet? I'm like, I don't know because I'm like trying to become a poet. And so like, I have to figure out like, I'm my favorite poet, I guess. Like, I don't know because like, it's so easy to accidentally like lift someone's like cadence or flow. And I'm just like, terrified of it. So I'm like, if anyone ever accuses me of it, I haven't read Jack. So, but yeah, I try to avoid that because I'm nervous. But yeah, those are some music, working out, treats. Yeah, that about covers it.
Love the treats. I think that's so relatable because I feel like I always say like ignorance is bliss to me. Like I don't want to know what anyone else is doing because it does. It gets to a point where you're just like, wait, who am I? I've been seeing all these other people do these cool things. Like what do I even want? And so I try to like isolate myself. And that's why I have Alexis, because she'll be like, oh, like this is a fun trend. Let's do it. And I'm like, you're going to have to explain it to me because I don't know anything about what's online right now.
No idea. You know, that's my business partner.
Context.
Yeah, here's what this means. That's the same dynamic between my business partner and I. I'm Alexis and she's Jessica. And she'll be like, we'll be brainstorming for a client and she'll be like, what if blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, that's a thing. Like that's somebody's already done that. And she's like, oh, dang. So I'm like, we could do this. But she's like, wait, why? Or I'll write a like tagline and she's like, I don't understand that at all. I'm like, oh, that's what the kids are saying. They're saying that 8. So like this is, like whatever. Just your grandma scrolling through trying to keep up with slang.
Yes. I know nothing. And I actually kind of prefer it that way.
It's nice. Okay, you guys, not to like get into a very weird topic, but I saw a post the other day where someone was talking about AI, like, and the future of AI. And they were like, maybe it will, let me see if I can remember this without butchering it. If everything on social starts to become like AI and it's indistinguishable, maybe it will get us all off of social media and we'll like reset it again. Like we'll like make art in real life and we'll start having like, and I was like in there, like that is the most optimistic view of how it could happen. But like, I think art devoid of the human element is crazy. Like, I don't think we will want it. Like I really, I hope in humanity that we will be like what's her name? Tilly something, the AI actress they're trying to make happen. Like she's about to get signed with a talent agency. I'm like, you guys, she's a robot. She's a hologram. But like, I don't think we're ultimately going to enjoy that. And so like, I'm imagining just thinking of us being offline. And I know that Gen Z has a real craving for that like they like typically talk about like, they're like, I want in real life things because we grew like from tip to tail, we were online the whole time. And we're like, what's it like? And I'm like, oh, cute. So anyway, I think there's some of that. I think us touching grass and getting offline is good for art.
I agree 100%.
I bet you didn't think we were going to talk about holograms on this.
Well, listen, I'm here for it because I actually just had the same conversation. So I also have another day job and it's in marketing. And I was just having a conversation the other day about AI with some coworkers. And I said the same, like I am genuinely like an optimistic person. I do consider myself a realist, but like I am genuinely optimistic. And I'm just like, guys, it'll work out. Like it'll work out in the end. But I do have that feeling. And I said to my coworker, I said, like right now it's like the new flashy thing, right? And so like people are like finding all the ways they can use it and like, oh, like let's push it to the limits and like do all this crazy stuff, which is like fun. It's part of, I think, evolution. But I do like to believe that there will come a point where like, okay, it's cool that we can do that, but like I don't want to. Like I do actually want a human to talk to today. And I do hope like it will come around eventually.
I think especially with art, I'm like, let it book my like my travel, let it organize my things. Like I'm happy for efficiency, but the idea that like, obviously like AI could do a lot of certain things, eventually we'll be able to do certain things better, but like, I don't believe that art will be one of them ultimately. Like, at least I hope. I'm with you.
I agree.
I'm like imagining like listening to like AI a cappella, like a choir. And you'd be like, that sounds really tight. And then you're like, and even if they were like, okay, well now we made it so it sort of sounds more human and there's some like off notes and whatever, I would still know in my brain, that's a robot choir. I know robot. I know it's not. That's how I call it. Yeah. I'd be like, those aren't people they didn't learn the song and they didn't like sing it. But we'll see.
That's my very optimistic view. I like to think of it like I maybe want to see a world where it does do so much of those like tedious tasks that we as humans should not be using brain power for, that it actually will allow us to be more human and to get back to more creativity and things like that, because we're not doing all of the tedious things that we have to do as humans these days. So I mean, I like to believe that, whether or not it's true.
Yeah, it's such a generous outlook on it because we're also not talking about the money component. And like that will only happen if there's money there. And there's not money for them to do certain, you know what I mean? Like, so Yeah, I'm exactly like you. I'm optimist realist who's hoping for the frickin' best. My next book is going to hopefully be all about hope. So,
we're
we'll
here
see.
for it.
Yes.
Yes. I am all about the concept of hope and all of those feelings because I actually wrote an essay in college. So when I was in college, we lost both my grandparents, and then my dad had been in a motorcycle accident and he passed away. And I was in this class that was like about like humanity, and it was like we did a lot with like 9/11 and stuff like that. And so, you know, coming back from all these like really traumatic events in my life, I had to write this paper and like kind of go through this. And I just remember, I don't remember anything else about it, but I just remember because it was about the concept of hope. And I like literally just wrote in the paper, like, if I don't have hope, what else do I have? Like that was the way that I kind of thought about it. Like I don't know how else to be, because that's a very depressing thought if there is no hope.
Yeah, the other side of that. And I think that is such a collective sentiment right now, because we all feel like the world is on fire, because it is, and for very different reasons. I just wrote a poem called How to Be a Person in the World. And it was like, it's a long form poem where it sort of explores like, don't forget that people are dying, but then also like fill your prescription. Like the duality of trying to do regular things with the weight of the world right now. And there's a line in there where I talk about how we're all in grief, but for like very conflicting reasons. And there's so much divisiveness right now. Anyway, it's just, it's difficult to imagine any path forward that does not like involve hope. I don't know how, for me, that's how I put one foot in front of the other.
Okay, I have to ask before we get into our last favorite section, but I have to ask in honor of our dear friend and past podcast visitor alum, Doogie, tell us more about the pink Crocs. Because in season 2, I think, was it season 2, Alexis? Or season 3, maybe it was whatever season it was.
A season.
Our new friend, Doogie Lish Sandtiger, who is the Guinness Book World Record holder for the most number of Crocs. Yes.
Yes.
So,
oh my
Alexis,
gosh.
Yes, he lives here in Connecticut, and
I
again had like stumbled across him. He came on our podcast. Now we chat with him. He is like just an amazing human being. So Alexis sent us in a group message your poem about Crocs, and I was like, well, we're gonna have to ask her about the pink Crocs.
Okay, so that's how he found me, because I was like, wait,
that's fun.
Amazing.
The bright side to social media.
Yes, there's good still.
Glimmers.
The book in the window.
Glimmer of the Crocs.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean,
you want to know about the pink Crocs? Sure,
so
the
that
Crocs.
we can bring that intel back to Doogie.
Yeah. So, okay, honestly, Crocs sent me 3 pairs of Crocs that were like outrageous, including a platform pair of black ones that I then decided to make into my fancy Crocs. So I put all gibbets that were like pearls and golds and silvers. My friend was like, these could be your going out Crocs. And then the high heeled pink ones are more like everyday Crocs. But because I knew a woman who was in their marketing department, and she, I think, found my work. And I think I had said it was and that Crocs poem I wrote was a very early poem. Anyway, she was like, what's your address? I'll send you a pair. And I was like, I think free stuff is so fun. And so I was like, yes. And she also sent me a Crocs Halloween costume. Like it's a huge Croc that you like put your hands in.
You wore one as a guest on our podcast. He was in a full-on Croc costume.
So wait, so anyway, then those hopping ones, I was like, they're very comfortable. And they're so loud. And I was realizing that on tour, I'm like sitting on these stools, and my shoes are usually at like my shoes are at people's eye level. And I was like, they need to be really fun. So I wore them then on tour to every city. And then I still wear them. I love them. But how many pairs does he have? What is the world record? Did he say?
Oh, he's up to like over 6,000. He has like a running count. Let's see. Let's look it up right now.
Yeah,
It's a
actually,
lot.
look,
And
I'm going to get the number wrong.
I got the pleasure of seeing his collection because he had set them up for some like stuff. And so he invited me. And listen, when I hear, I would say it's 3,890 pairs.
Okay.
When I tell you, like,
does he have a storeroom?
3,000. He has them all stored in his home, but he was like filming some different things. And so he rented out this like old historical building and like there was just like a big empty room and he just filled it. And I'm telling you, like, if I hear 3,000 in my head, first of all, I'm not really a numbers person. So like I hear that, I'm like, yeah, that's a lot, but like, okay. But you walk into the room, like, and it was just covered. They were like, there was a staircase. They were like all on the staircase. They were like filling every nook and cranny. And it was just like mind blowing to me that is
So
a lot
amazing.
of Crocs.
That's a croc ton. This is why we need people like that. That is the epitome of a bit much. And what would the world be?
Yep.
How boring would the world be if we did not have people who were like,
Yes.
yep, I'm going to break a world record for the amount of rubber, ugly chic shoes, waterproof Crocs.
Yes.
And like, that's
Yes.
fantastic. What
I know.
a king.
That's why we're drawn to those people. Like we want to find those people, and that's who we want here to visit Confetti Land because that's
so
fun. That is what makes us human, and those are the things that make us different and unique. And I think wrapping it up to our AI conversation, like those are the things. Our a bit muchness is what's going to set us apart and what's going to make us even more human. And the more we embrace that, the more we get to differentiate ourselves from the sameness that will come out of AI eventually. So
I agree entirely.
It's just I think we're going to be just fine.
You heard it here first on Confetti Land. We're going to be fine, you guys. In the robot war, we're coming out ahead.
Yes. Victory.
It's going to be fine.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I love that. Okay, we've now reached the point of this episode that is our favorite. It's called the Super Silly segment. We love alliteration. So just for fun, we are going to ask you some very random, rapid-fire questions. We'll like volley back and forth to each other, and you just give us the first thing that pops to your mind.
Okay.
Are you
As
ready?
you can tell, I'm not good at being succinct because I'm like, well, and actually, I grew up calling. Okay, I'll try. I'm going to do it. I'm going to shoot from the hip.
Okay. No, we go on tangents with them all the time.
We love a tangent.
The point is we want your first impression unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
Thoughts.
Yes, yes.
Got it. I'm ready.
Alrighty. Pancakes need to be rebranded. Should they be called flat cakes or breakfast clouds?
Oh my God. I mean, breakfast clouds. Yeah,
I
breakfast
agree.
clouds for sure. Yes, 100%. No question.
I do concur.
Or breakfast cake.
Okay.
Oh, that's fun
breakfast
too.
flat cakes.
Morning cake. Maybe morning cake. That's what it should be called.
Morning cake. Ooh, that's a good one. And it has to have sprinkles on it.
Yes,
Of course.
100%.
And glittery syrup.
Okay. If aliens visited, what's the first snack you'd offer?
Oh my gosh, Doritos. Doritos.
What
Nacho
kind?
Doritos.
What flavor? Any?
Cheap,
Okay.
just the classic
Solid.
red bag nacho. Yeah, that's it. It's great. Their minds would be blown. For sure.
We'll get addicted.
That one was so embarrassingly easy. It's just Doritos in my heart.
Okay, I have to ask, have you ever had the hippies knockoff Doritos version? So they make like a nacho and then like what is like a Cool Ranch version of it.
No, I haven't, but I like that brand.
So
Are they like, they're like
my
healthier?
daughter is obsessed. Yeah, I mean, there's a little protein in there and there's no dairy,
Nice.
which we in my family try to be dairy free. Not that we are all the time, but so I started getting them for my daughter and she's like obsessed with them. But now. I'm also obsessed with them. And even though I know it's still a chip and it's not actually healthy for me, in my mind, I can convince myself it is healthier. So it's like, okay.
And what are we if not just living in our minds? Like if you say it's true, then it's true. If it's not hurting anybody, live in delusion, babe. That's your healthy cracker.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
I'll meet you there.
Okay. If pickles are really just cucumbers with an attitude, what mood are they in?
I think they're just feeling a little outgoing. They're just feeling social. They're outgoing. They're extroverted cucumbers. That's what I
did. Extroverted cucumbers. I think they're a little sassy too.
Yeah.
A little spicy.
I was like, and because like I guess you could say they're also like bitter because they're not bitter, but they're, salty. Maybe they've been wronged. They're cucumbers who with a vendetta. They've got a score to settle.
Vengeance. It's so silly. Okay. Do birds know they're flying?
I think they know because I feel like they sort of show off, like when they land and then they take off again. They're like, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look at me.
They're like a little kid with Heelys. They're just like, see ya. And you're like, it's pretty cool.
Interesting. Counterpoint. Do they to them? It's like their version of walking?
But they also walk. That's the only other reason. I mean, sort of.
Oh, true.
That's the only reason. Like, I don't think fish know they're swimming. You know what I mean? Because they can't do anything else. Mm-hmm. They're just like, here I go.
All right. Good point. Fair point.
That's where I'm at emotionally today is that birds know.
Birds know. But
They know. They know.
Especially crows. They know. Trust me.
Do donuts taste better with sprinkles or without?
Oh, with sprinkles. No doubt. Right? You guys are with me on that.
I agree. Yeah. Everything is better with sprinkles. I must have been really hungry, by the way.
I'm like, there is a right answer.
Yeah, it's like,
there's a right answer to this.
Even though like sprinkles don't they don't really taste like anything, but they feel like something. Like they're
you hit the nail on the head.
They're a happy placebo. Like something's happening here. I mean, they're sweet.
You eat with your eyes first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
You eat with your eyes first, and so it does just immediately make something feel happier when you eat it if it has sprinkles.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. My toddler just learned, has started singing the happy birthday song because he's been going to like birthday parties and stuff. And so if he sees sprinkles on anything, he starts singing happy birthday, like anywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the way to live.
Imagine if we all just did that. Yeah. Like imagine if we all just did
he'll
that.
sometimes just sing happy. So people just think he's happy seeing sprinkles, which is even better. I'm like, me too, buddy. Me too.
It is. All right. This is really gross, but my daughter is obsessed with sprinkles, as one is. And so she'll go through phases where she asks me to put it on everything. And so she once was eating, she was obsessed. We call it pink dip. She calls things dip if you dip something in it. And it's just mayonnaise and ketchup mixed together. And so we call it pink dip. And she was having that with like some chicken nuggets or something. And she asked me to put sprinkles in it. And at first I was like, are you sure you want me to do that? She was like, absolutely I do. And I was like, kind of like, ooh, that kind of gives me the ick. But then she was like happy as a clam. And I was like, I'm missing out on something.
Because they barely taste like anything. And ketchup's already sweet. I think she's a genius. I think she's going to be a chef. We're going to look back and be like, well, yeah, she knew. It was sprinkle dip. Those were first.
She's going to open a sprinkle restaurant. And everything is going to have sprinkles, including the breakfast flat cakes.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, a few more. Why do we call it a building if it's already been built?
Wow. You know, I think because like ing is like present participle, it's existing, it's building. I'm built. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. What else would we call it? I was gonna try to wordsmith my way through that, and I got nothing. I think it's called a building because sometimes in life we need mysteries. Okay, so stop asking so many questions. Just take it. Take the building. Take the building the world wants to offer you. Okay.
I will.
Can laughter be measured in ounces?
Of Diet Dr. Pepper, hell yeah. 32 ounces. At 2 p.m., ooh. That's laughter.
That's the measurement.
Exact.
Okay, last one. Should lightning be considered dramatic or just excited?
Oh, I think dramatic. I like thinking. I think we're going in like the soap opera world where like these pickles have a score to settle and the lightning has something to say. And like they're being loud about it and they're making sure that we pay attention. That's how I view it.
And the birds are just flying around.
The birds are showing off. Everybody is strutting their stuff and they should.
Sounds like a good place to be. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like confetti land, you know?
It does. Well, that brings us to a great outro here where my final question is, if you were to design a billboard for Confetti Land, what would your message to visitors be?
Oh, this taps into so many of my interests and skills. I'm nervous.
On the spot. Go.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I just would think is that it would be like a map and the little dot would be multicolored. It would say Confetti Land. And instead of you are here, like on a map arrow, it would say it's fun here. That's just the first one.
I
I like it.
But if I think of anything else,
we should do a billboard design contest for Confetti Land Alexis.
For sure.
I should write that down because I'll forget it.
Write it down. Write it down.
But then
Put
put it in your notes. The pen right here. Right here.
Where's your lip gloss?
Yes.
I know. I'm going to have to start carrying more around.
Yeah.
So good.
It's not a moment, it's a movement.
Yeah. Yes. The best thing too about that, I have to mention Taylor Swift at least once in every episode, is
Certainly.
I got that lip gloss for the Eras tour. And it had only resurged to my purse because of Life of a Showgirl. And I went and saw the movie release party. And that's the only reason why it was in there. And thank goodness it was.
my emergency lip gloss. That's perfect.
Yes.
I love it.
It's right next to her emergency confetti.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We know that our people are going to want to continue hanging out with you. So how can they do that? Your Instagram handle, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So believe it or not, my Instagram handle is Mary Oliver's Drunk Cousin. And I'm there. That's on Instagram and TikTok. And then I'm also on Substack. I send a newsletter out every week where I do a headline poem. I take a funny headline and I turn it into poetry. You can find me there. That's it. Oh, and LyndsyRush.com if you want. I do digital prints of my poems and updates on tours and stuff and books. So yeah, that's the place. And you can buy a bit much everywhere. Buy it from your local bookshop and make the oldest person in the room crawl to the window to get it. That's the best way to procure the book. It's really the only way.
Yes.
I've set it up actually. Way. I've been like, it's time to hire some retirees and put the book as far away from them as possible. And just one.
Yes. Yes.
It's a lot. It's not a great business strategy, but it's working. That's why I'm here.
Listen, it'll find the right people.
It will.
As I feel it did me. All right. Well, thank you so much for visiting us here in Confetti Land. We are so excited that you not only joined us, but chatted about all the things. I love that we went in all the directions, but it was a really fun conversation. So as our final little send-off, we have our confetti poppers.
Yay.
So we can go ahead and take the top off. And then I'm going to give us like a 1, 2, 3. And if you haven't experienced this kind, it's like a volleyball situation where you just kind of, the bottom part, you can hit like you were serving a volleyball.
Okay.
The more force,
Perfect.
the bigger explosion.
Yes, the more force, the bigger the confetti. All right, I'm going to count us in. 1, 2, 3. Yay!
Oh, that's so fun.
Ooh, I got a good one on the sleeve this time.
You did.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Like-
Oh, look, I got it on my microphone.
There we go.
What a blessing.
Wait, that is talent. My favorite thing is that it's now in your friend's house.
Yeah, I know. And her dog right now is like, what is this? And I'm like, be more fun, brother.
What
Like,
happened?
It's a party, Wagyu.
you guys are the best. This was
Well,
so
thank you.
fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. We hope
Thank
it
you
won't
for
be your
coming.
last visit. And
No way.
fingers crossed, when book 2 comes out, we'll just have to
Yeah.
revisit and talk about hope.
Yes.
We'll do it again, and we'll see if I can get confetti on the cover of this one. The next one.
Please do. Otherwise, I won't be
Okay.
able to purchase the book from this poor little old lady.
Oh, man. Okay,
Well,
thanks, guys.
Thank you. And
See you
we'll chat soon.
later. Bye.
Yay.
For more fun, join us on the socials at The Confetti Bar. To receive free inspiration delivered to your inbox, you can also join the Confetti Club at theconfettibar.com/join. Thanks for visiting!
My shoes are usually at like my shoes are at people's eye level. And I was like, they need to be really fun. And so then I just wore them. So sorry, dog. Sir. Wagyu, come here.
Cameo.